All right, we are now cutting across live to the Delhi cantonment area where the funeral of slain martyr Colonel MN Rai will be held with full military honours. These are live visuals coming in. Let's quickly listen in to what is happening in the Delhi cantonment.
Hello. क्या हुआ? हाँ. अरे बॉस, अपना मोबाइल तो बंद कीजिए. आप ऑन एयर में फोन करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? नीचे बैठे हैं। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु फोटो ठीक है। हेलो, ये नेशनल को नहीं मिलेगा, फोन आया था हम बोलते नहीं वापस नंबर से करो।
Savant now joins us for more on this. Gaurav, if you can hear me, can you just tell us what really is happening at this moment? Of course, you and I were discussing this yesterday as well when ceremony was being performed at the Badami Bagh cantonment area in Srinagar. This is an absolutely tragic turn of events, particularly because of the fact that he was given the Yudh Seva Medal. He could not even live to collect it.
Square cremation ground, Sanket. The mortal remains of Colonel MN Rai have just been brought in here. The chief of the army staff, all the officers of the Gorkha Rifles Regiment, several other top commanders of the army will come here. They'll lay a wreath, pay their homage to the brave officer. His family is here. He's got 3 little children. And in a while from now, we will see his mortal remains consigned to flames. I was speaking to one of the officers here who was from the same battalion, who was giving us stories of his gallantry, how he led from the front every operation. In fact, a Yudh Seva Medal is usually not given to a rank officer. A Yudh Seva Medal is usually reserved for senior officers, but such was this officer's gallantry that, and the fact that as a colonel he commanded operations far up his stature. That is why he was given a Yudh Seva Medal, and as you rightly pointed out, he did not live to receive that Yudh Seva Medal. Now there will be a ceremony here. Chants, the senior officers will come here. As you can see in these pictures, they're all lining up around his mortal remains. And in a while from his mortal remains will be consigned to flames. This is a gun salute. His mortal remains were brought here just a short while back. His children, his family, other officers, we're all here. Thank you.
Absolutely, Gaurav. It's a quite an emotional moment for you as well. You have in fact been reporting on the Indian Army and also the services. Obviously, it's an emotional connect. I would let you gather your emotions there. Of course, a tragic turn of events. We here at Headlines Today are also saluting our martyrs. Remember, it's not just him, but also the head constable of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, Sanjeev Kumar, who also laid down his life in this supreme sacrifice. They brought down 2 militants of the Hizbul Mujahideen yesterday, in that day before yesterday, in that encounter in the Tral sector. We're getting these live pictures from the Brar Square in Delhi cantonment, where Gaurav Sawant is getting us all the latest details. Full military honors are in fact being given. Remember, it's an absolutely tragic turn of events as we are reporting here on Headlines Today. Colonel MN Rai was conferred the Yudh Seva Medal, which is a rare honor that is given to members of the Indian Army for leading from the front, for their bravery, for their valor. And that was actually conferred upon Colonel MN Rai, but he could not live to actually receive the honors. We have the Army Chief, General Dalbir Singh Suhag, present at this particular ceremony. We could see that he is actually, as far as paying his last respects are concerned, leading from the front, standing with the army men, standing with his soldiers in their time of grief. He's there. We'll try going full frame to those visuals coming in from the Brar Square at this moment to get you what exactly is happening at this moment. We can see that the wreath laying ceremony has begun. Let's see if we have Gaurav Sawant still with us. Gaurav, are you there?
I am. As you see, the top commanders of the army are lining up to lay a wreath. Gut-wrenching is the fact completely shattered, and the very his elder brother is also an army officer who was in for when terrorists people in 2000.
Okay, there seems to be some problem connecting with Gaurav Sawant. We'll try and patch that phone connection once again as we get you these live pictures coming in. The wreath laying ceremony is taking place at the Brar Square in Delhi cantonment, after which the mortal remains of Colonel MN Rai will be handed over to his family. Now, interesting, a couple of things that should be brought to the notice of our viewers is the reaction that came in from Colonel MN Rai's father. He said in Hindi कि वो बहुत शांत स्वभाव के थे, गुस्सा नाम की कोई चीज़ नहीं थी. Just the way all of that was actually being said, it's actually a tragic reflection of what might be going on in the mind of the family of Colonel MN Rai, who has been survived by a wife, parents, as well as 3 children. Let's quickly listen into that reaction that came in day before yesterday of Colonel MN Rai's father.
बिल्कुल सीधे साधे और जेंटल प्रकृति के थे. क्रोध नाम की कोई चीज उनके पास नहीं थी और सच्चे और ईमानदार थे.
Just imagine what must be going in the minds of that family at this moment, and the least that can be done at this moment as far as the Indian Army is concerned. Gaurav Sawant is back on the phone line with us. Gaurav, the least that the Army could have done in this very, very trying time for the family of Colonel MN Rai is to give him full state honors with the Army Chief leading from the front. I mean, this is almost a reflection of the Indian Army, the top leadership actually showing solidarity that we are standing right behind you, we are with you, our soldiers and Jawans.
Absolutely, and that is a spirit. That is the spirit that motivates the next generation of leaders and commanders in this particular operation. As you and I were talking about, Sanket, Colonel MN Rai was not supposed to be in this operation. He was leading another operation in another sector when intelligence inputs came in about two dreaded Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists coming back home. The CO personally led from the front. He did not want to risk lives of any of his young officers. Just the previous day, he'd been awarded a Yudh Seva Medal for planning and meticulous planning of an operation that led to the killing of 4 terrorists and the arrest of 8 overground terrorists. And that in Tral area of South Kashmir played a very crucial role in breaking the back of a terror organization. In this particular case, these 2 terrorists, when they came to their home, their father, who's a police constable, came up to the CEO, commanding officer, came up to Colonel Rai and said, "My son wants to surrender." He said, "Okay, let him come and surrender." Now, while the son and the other terrorists were coming in to surrender, they suddenly opened fire. And while due drill and procedure was being followed, Colonel Rai wanted to ensure that there was no casualties to others and these terrorists do not escape. And he fired back immediately. Now, both terrorists were killed, but unfortunately, trying to save his own men, Colonel Rai made the supreme sacrifice of his life. His wireless operator is injured. The police constable Sanjeev, he also made the supreme sacrifice of his life. Both succumbed to their injuries. And this is the kind of leadership that inspires an entire generation of future commanders. And that is why today, you see, while there's the Chief of the Army Staff, all the other senior generals, not just of the Gurkha Rifles Regiment, but other Paltans also coming here, you see a large number of young officers and civilians who are here. But what completely leaves you shattered is the fact that Colonel Rai's young children, I mean, he's got 2 daughters and 1 son, Alka, Richa and Aditya. They're only 11 years, 8 years and 6 years. And little Alka is standing in one corner. She's looking just so lost. Just the previous day, in fact, a couple of hours earlier, they were with talking to their father, talking about a celebration. I was speaking to another officer of the Paltan who was telling me that everyone had planned a get-together that evening to celebrate the Yudh Seva Medal. A colonel getting a Yudh Seva Medal is unique. It is amazing the kind of faith his superior officers had in him. Yudh Seva Medal is usually awarded to brigadiers or major general rank officers, but here was a full colonel who led an operation in such a way, and it was meticulous planning of an operation that led to the killing of 4 terrorists and arrest of 8 overground workers. That is why he was awarded a Yudh Seva Medal for planning such operations. This is what inspires another generation. But this also just goes on to show, 1, it's such is life, and 2, what happens to these little children now, Sanket? I mean, they're just looking at their fathers' mortal remains, looking just so lost just now. Sanket.
Absolutely, a very, very emotional moment there, Gaurav. But also, it's interesting. I mean, it's just so interesting that just a month ago, Colonel MN Rai actually posted a message to a friend where he said, and we'll put out those graphics on air at this moment. There you have it. We'll try putting out those graphics on air in just a short moment. He says, play your role in life with such passion. Play your role in life with such passion that even after curtains come down, the applause does not stop. Gaurav.
Spot on there, Sanket. I mean, it's the applause. It's a grateful nation that you see here. That people from nearby areas are just assembling on their own, coming to just talk to see this brave officer who made the supreme sacrifice of his life for this country. And absolutely, I mean, people are still applauding his gallantry. His is a gallantry that people will talk about in times to come. His and so many others like him of the Indian Armed Forces in Jammu and Kashmir, in other counter-terror operations, that will continue to inspire a generation of officers. But what you also see here is the immense loss that their families face, because just yesterday, one of his officers was telling me that they had all planned. They were planning a very glorious future for their little children. Alka is all of 11 years old, and just the previous day, the father was talking to the children about what they would like to do in life in the times to come, and suddenly it is all gone. And this is a motivational. This is the Gurkha Rifles Regiment. Their Adarsh Vakya is Ayo Gurkhali, and what the chanting is Ho ki hoina, ho, ho, which means will we win, will we not win? And they say yes, we will win, yes, we will win, yes, we will win. That is the Adarsh Vakya, the motto of this regiment. It also points to that other aspect, Sanket, of how Jammu and Kashmir remains a hotbed of terror, and certain pockets, terror needs to be completely wiped out. Otherwise, such losses will continue to happen, Sanket.
Absolutely, Gaurav. And see, we have lost Colonel MN Rai. I mean, the entire army is standing behind him. The army is perhaps giving him full honors at this moment. And it's so tragic. You are right there. You are describing what you are seeing. And what should we say? We have the misfortune of seeing all of it in front of our eyes with the outdoor broadcast van actually getting us these visuals of those little daughters crying, weeping. What really should this be, in fact, a message for the establishment that they really need to step on the gas as far as going on the offensive? And then that's the father of Colonel MN Rai, whose sound reaction we played just a short while ago, and he has broken down. He has completely broken down. Gaurav, can you describe to us what you're seeing?
The family just can't come to terms. This is a family which comes from Ghazipur in Uttar Pradesh. This is a very, very simple family. This is an area that has sent several soldiers to the armed forces, to the central police organizations. And look at Colonel Rai itself. Colonel Rai, the three brothers, all three brothers in the armed forces. His elder brother, Colonel Rai, is again from the Gurkha Rifles. He's a Seva Medal Gallantry Award winner. Colonel MN Rai was awarded his Yudh Seva Medal. He was instrumental in the elimination of 4 very, very hardcore Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists, including their then divisional commander. And, the operation that he had masterminded led to 9 overground workers being arrested and their entire support structure being dismantled. So that is the kind of gallantry this officer had shown. If you recall the Amarnath Yatra, and you and I have both covered the Amarnath Yatra, the threat of terror is immense. But it was his battalion that ensured, along with several other battalions of the army, the J&K police and the CRPF, that ensured the Amarnath Yatra was absolutely terror-free. And all of this is extremely, extremely difficult. Now, here is an officer who comes from a family that both his brothers are gallantry award winners. His elder brother in the CRPF won a gallantry medal, police medal gallantry in the Raghunath temple attack. Now, he also fought terrorists. He was injured in the battle with terrorists, but they came out on top. In the case of the other, again a Gurkha Rifles officer, one Sena for gallantry. But ultimately, it's the terrorists who have the upper hand. Terrorists have the initiative. And perhaps somewhere down the line, the government has to take a call on how to battle this terror. That terrorists should be more than what we are doing.
Okay, we seem to be losing Gaurav Sawant's audio connection there. We'll try patching his audio link once again. But these are visuals coming in from the Brar Square in Delhi cantonment area. It's a very, very emotional journey for the family of Colonel MN Rai. Family paying its last respect to the mortal remains of Colonel MN Rai, as well as the entire top brass of the Indian Army in full attendance. Short break at this moment. We'll be back. with this story.